You think you're eating healthy? But what if some of your clean foods are secretly spiking your blood sugar, worse than junk food? I'm talking about foods people eat every single day, thinking they're doing the right thing. But by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to avoid, and what to eat instead. Because these hidden spikes, they could be the reason you're tired, gaining weight, or constantly hungry. Let's expose them. Let's start with flavored yogurt because it's everywhere and sounds healthy. People grab it for protein. People grab it for probiotics, but most flavored versions are packed with added sugar. Read the label. You'll often see as much sugar as a candy bar per serving. Low-fat labels are especially sneaky. Fat gets removed. Taste is lost. Manufacturers add sugar to replace mouthfeel. When you eat that sugary yogurt, your blood sugar rises quickly. The pancreas responds with an insulin spike to bring glucose down. That insulin response promotes fat storage and makes you hungry a few hours later. The simple swap: plain Greek yogurt. It has more protein. It has far less sugar. Add fresh berries for natural sweetness and fiber. Sprinkle cinnamon. Add a few nuts for crunch and healthy fat. Those additions slow digestion and blunt the glucose surge. Portion single serve and add toppings when you eat it. For kids, mix in mashed bananas or a bit of real fruit spread. Teach them the taste of less sweet food. Small changes here protect your insulin and energy all day. Next is whole wheat bread, one of my favorites to debunk because it sounds so wholesome. Whole wheat on the front of the package doesn't always mean whole grain inside. Some breads are made with refined flour and just colored or labeled to look healthier. The result? A carb that breaks down fast into glucose. When bread digests quickly, you see the same rise and crash pattern. That spike promotes insulin release, which over time can worsen metabolic flexibility. For someone trying to lose fat or manage energy, this is quietly sabotaging progress. It's not the bread itself, it's the type of bread. Look for 100% whole grain or 100% whole wheat and check the ingredient list. The first item should be a whole grain, not enriched flour. Sprouted grain breads are even better. Their structure slows absorption and boosts nutrient availability. These options blunt glucose and keep you fuller. Toast with avocado and an egg, or use sprouted bread for sandwiches. Those pairings add protein, healthy fat, which dramatically change how your body handles the carbs. Bread can be part of a healthy diet. Choose wisely and pair smart. Fruit juice sells itself on vitamins and convenience, but remember what happens when you remove fiber. Juice strips the fruit of most of its fiber, leaving concentrated sugar and liquid. That liquid moves through your stomach and intestines fast, delivering glucose quickly to your bloodstream. That rapid delivery causes a sharp blood sugar spike, which in turn triggers insulin. Even 100% orange juice can raise glucose faster than a whole orange. For kids, juice is especially dangerous because portions often exceed one serving. Eat whole fruit instead. Fiber, water, intact cell structure slow digestion and create a steadier absorption of sugars. Whole fruit also fills you more, which prevents the grazing and extra snacking that often follows a glass of juice. If you want a morning boost, have a whole apple with nut butter or pair orange slices with cottage cheese. Protein, fat, and keep glucose steady. Small habit changes go a long way toward maintaining energy. Granola wears a health halo, but many store-bought versions are essentially sugar, oil, calories shaped into clusters. You know, they look wholesome at first glance, but that's often just marketing. Honey, syrups, dried fruit turn what looks like a wholesome cereal into a concentrated sugar bomb. And because it's crunchy and tasty, people often eat much more than a serving. That means a small bowl can quietly become a huge calorie load. So, yeah, it's worth pausing before you scoop. Be mindful of portions and ingredients because appearances can be misleading. Try to read labels, rather than trusting the packaging. When you overconsume granola, you're ingesting lots of quickly available carbs. That kind of intake pushes blood sugar up and forces big insulin releases. Over time, repeated spikes can affect energy and appetite regulation. Sugar, fat in granola, can also make it addictive, encouraging repeat bites and mindless snacking that add up. A better approach is a portion-controlled mix of nuts and seeds with no added sugar. You still get crunch, healthy fats, protein, and fiber to slow absorption. Those nutrients help you feel fuller, longer, and blunt blood sugar swings. Or make your own granola with minimal sweetener and measure out a true serving. Measuring is, surprisingly effective for keeping portions realistic. Homemade versions let you control the oil and sweetener, so it's actually a nutritious option. Use granola as a topping, not a base. Sprinkle a small amount over plain yogurt or a smoothie bowl to keep the overall sugar content low. That preserves the crunchy contrast without turning the whole meal into a sugar-heavy dish. That way you enjoy texture without the metabolic consequences. Combining it with protein-rich foods further stabilizes blood sugar and extends satiety. So, think in terms of enhancement rather than the main event. Little shifts like that help you savor granola without overdoing it. It's a simple habit that protects your energy and your health. Smoothies have become a health shorthand. Blend fruit, add a protein powder, call it breakfast, but many smoothies, especially store-bought or cafe versions, fruit juice, sweetened yogurt, and syrups, which is tricky. That concoction can be a high sugar drink with little fiber, lasting protein, and honestly, that's a problem. Liquid meals are absorbed differently than solid ones, so pay attention. When you break food down into a drink, you eliminate chewing and reduce the time it spends in your stomach, which matters. This accelerates glucose entry into the bloodstream and produces a bigger insulin response than the same food in solid form, right? Make your own smoothies with a protein base. Unsweetened Greek yogurt, protein powder, or silken tofu. Simple swaps. Add fiber-rich greens, a small portion of fruit, and a tablespoon of nut butter or avocado for healthy fat that really helps. That composition slows digestion and keeps blood sugar stable, so yeah, it's worth doing. If you grab a store smoothie, check the label, okay, be mindful. If it lists more than 20 to 30 grams of sugar and no protein source, treat it as dessert, sadly. Making smoothies at home gives you control and saves your energy and appetite for the day, plus it's cheaper. A homemade blend with protein and fat keeps you fuller longer and avoids the mid-morning slump. So, aim for balance rather than sweetness alone. Small changes in ingredients really alter the metabolic impact, and, that means better steady energy and fewer cravings later. Rice cakes are marketed as a low-calorie, guilt-free snack, but they're essentially puffed refined rice, just so you know. That structure digests very quickly and behaves like a high-glycemic food, which is important. You can eat one and still feel hungry 30 minutes later. And that sneaks up on you. Those fast-digesting carbs result in rapid glucose spikes followed by insulin drops that make you want more, unfortunately. The illusion of lightness leads people to stack toppings, reach for another, or add sugary spreads that amplify the problem. If you do enjoy rice cakes, pair them with protein or healthy fat. Think cottage cheese, nut butter, smoked salmon. That pairing slows absorption and creates a more balanced snack and actually keeps you satisfied. Better yet, swap rice cakes for whole food carbs like sweet potato slices, whole grain crackers. Treat rice cakes as a base for a balanced snack, not a standalone option, right? The goal is to avoid the quick-hit glucose rise and the consequent energy crash. That's the point. With the right pairing, you can have convenience without the sugar spike, so it's workable. Think of the rice cake as a platform, add protein and fat to make it a real snack. Small mindful choices stop the cycle of grazing and hunger. So, plan your toppings before the snack attack hits. That way you get the convenience without the metabolic cost. And honestly, your afternoon will thank you. Dried fruit looks like a portable, healthy snack, but remember concentration. That's key. Removing water concentrates the sugars. A small handful can equal several servings of fresh fruit, which surprises people. That concentrated sugar hits your bloodstream fast, and that matters for energy control. A few dates, a palm of raisins, can quickly spike blood sugar, especially when eaten alone, so be cautious. Because dried fruit is chewy and pleasant, it's easy to overconsume. It's deceptively Moorish. For people watching energy and weight, that quick glucose load undermines control. Choose fresh fruit when possible. Be mindful of portion sizes for dried fruit. If you include dried fruit, pair with nuts, pair with cheese, add fat, add protein. This helps slow things down. That combination slows the glucose rise and makes the snack more satisfying. Reserve dried fruit for recipes. Trail mix in measured quantities, stewed into dishes, rather than mindless snacking. With a few rules, you can keep the flavor benefits without the metabolic downside. Measure portions, pair with protein, pair with fat, Treat dried fruit as an ingredient, not the whole snack. Small habits prevent the mid-afternoon energy roller coaster. You still get the sweetness without the crash. Enjoy it intentionally, not impulsively. Keep flavor and control in balance. Here's what most people don't realize. It's not just what you eat, it's how you combine foods. If you eat carbs alone, you get spikes, but when you pair them with protein, fiber, healthy fats, you slow digestion and reduce that spike dramatically. You don't need to cut carbs completely, you just need to be smarter about hidden sugars, processed healthy foods, food combinations, because once you control your blood sugar, you control your energy, your cravings, and your fat loss. Quick recap: swap flavored yogurt to plain Greek yogurt with berries. Choose basic whole wheat 100% whole grain, or sprouted bread instead. Eat fruit juice rather than whole fruit, and for granola, go portion-controlled nuts and seeds, or make your own. Make smoothies at home, with protein, greens, and healthy fats. Treat rice cakes by pairing them with protein or fat, or choosing whole food carbs. Prefer fresh fruit while watching portions of dried fruit, so yeah, those are the swaps. Final fix: pair carbs with protein, pair carbs with fiber, and pair carbs with healthy fats. This protein, fiber, and fat plate slows digestion and blunts spikes, leading to fewer crashes, less cravings, steadier energy, and better long-term health. If this helped, hit like and subscribe for more. Comment below which surprise food you eat daily. I read every one, and if you want to keep the momentum, watch my next video about morning foods that may make this worse. Small swaps compound into big results.